Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Dan the Movie Man with another big show for you today. Well, Star Wars Rogue One is officially out and it is succeeding critically and financially. And with the success of the very first anthology film, this also leads to the possibility of future installments. Now, we already know that a Han Solo movie is coming out in 2 years, which will be directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did the Jump Street movies along with the Lego movie. And this got me thinking, what other stories could they pull off? Now, I don't want them to go overboard and think, oh, here's the character who was shot in the beginning of episode 4, one of the soldiers here. Let's know his backstory. No, I don't think they're going to be pulling something like that. So, but, I'd like to share a few other ones with you that I thought this would be interesting to do. Now, the two most popular ones that people want are Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, Boba Fett, I think, is no stranger to any Star Wars fan. People have been wanting a spin-off on this character ever since his very first appearance in Empire Strikes Back. And originally, Josh Trank, who directed Chronicle and unfortunately the 2015 Fantastic Four, was supposed to direct a Boba Fett movie, but apparently he either quit or got fired from it. So I don't know how that would have went down. But, overall, I think I would absolutely love to see a Boba Fett movie. I think there's a lot of potential there. But, I would love to point out, another possibility. How about a movie about bounty hunters? Or, look, I'm not going to pretend that I know all the Star Wars names. It's been forever since, I paid attention to Star Wars, and now, I'm back on the boat from it. So where we see Boba Fett and everyone else from Empire, I think, it would be interesting to see a movie like that if it was a bounty hunting heist film starring Boba Fett and these other 5 characters. And if you know who these characters are, just please let me know. And, so, I don't look too much like an idiot. But other characters that, they want to try to do would be an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. So I thought to myself, well, if they did that, would this be a prequel before he met Qui-Gon Jinn? Or would it be set in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope when he's on Tatooine watching over Luke Skywalker as a child? I think doing the second one would probably be a very smart choice, because obviously I know that Ewan McGregor would totally be up for returning for Obi-Wan. Just put him in old man's makeup and have him do what he did before, doing his Allen Guinness impression. And I think that it would work properly. I don't think, I think someone wanted maybe to try and do what they did with a specific CG character in Rogue One, just done better. But I think that they should just, again, put Ewan McGregor in makeup. Just to add it to the story, just make it, authentic. Other characters, and these are ones that, I would love to see in a Star Wars film. Like, take, for example, how about a Clone Squadron movie, set in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, just a perspective on some of the clone troopers that were in that battle before Order 66 happened. So, again, why not do something like that? That would be, fine right there. I don't know, how much you can do with that, but it would be an interesting aspect to do in a film. How about a Yoda film? I mean, Now, Yoda's a mysterious character in general, and I think that's what people still want. But if you did a Yoda film, how would you perceive that? I mean, would it be before he was a Jedi? Would it be in between episodes 3 and 4 when he landed on Dagobah? Would it, and I don't think that they would ever try to do that because, it would just be him just sitting around for 2 hours until Luke Skywalker came by, which really isn't that exciting. However, if they added in a storyline to make that interesting, then all the power to them, and may the Force be with them. Other possibilities like a movie on Jabba the Hutt. Like, think about this. Hear me out for a second. How about not just about Jabba, but the rest of the Hutts, and it would pretty much be a space mob film. We don't get that nowadays. We've never seen a space mob movie. Why not? It would be cool. I mean, it would just be, Jabba just sliding around, and it'd just be like, I don't know how much of that we could take, because technically, if they did a Jabba the Hutt movie, then the majority of it would probably be a foreign film. Either that or have there be a mob Star Wars movie, but not necessarily based on the Hutts, but have them be a huge factor of the story and maybe create new characters along the way. That would be something I would be definitely interested in. But, the possibilities are countless out there. I mean, how about, a movie about the Boffins, who also took plans for the second Death Star for Return of the Jedi? That could pretty much be Rogue 2, but I think that would be technically, something different. But having a story about just aliens and no human characters, I would be up for that. I mean, I have no problem with that whatsoever. An Old Republic movie, I think, could be interesting. The very first Jedi Temple. And I know they've had a few video games for that. I think that could possibly work here, just as long as you get the right people to follow along with that. Other possibilities, a Rogue Squadron movie, Rogue 2, the people who were involved with the Battle of Hoth. Or just, an X-Wings fighter movie with, Dak or Wedge. Have a movie, based on him. I think that could, have potential. And, we could have more Porkins. Because who doesn't love Porkins? Oh my God, that is the most insulting name in a Star Wars movie ever. Because, Dak, and Luke Skywalker, and all these other Porkins. Oh my God, that is just. But four other ones I would absolutely love to see. This one is a little bit far-fetched. A Lego Star Wars movie. Think about that for a minute. Because the Star Wars characters were introduced in the Lego movie with some of the voice actors from the original trilogy, including Billy D. Williams, and considering the fact that Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are doing the Han Solo movie, directed that movie, I don't think it would be far-fetched at all. I do remember Watch Mojo actually bringing that up. And I thought to myself, that would be interesting. I mean, Lego Batman is already happening, so why not? And they're doing Lego spin-offs, so Star Wars I don't think would be far-fetched at all. A few other ones, 3 more I would love to see. One I think everyone is dying for is a Darth Maul movie. A Darth Maul movie I think could possibly work, like the upbringing on how he became a Sith Lord, or yeah, how he got involved with the Sith, or after his demise in episode 1 on when he came back. They could probably pull off a story like that, like when he was in the Clone Wars episode. That could lead to a lot of possibilities, and I know Ray Park would definitely be probably up for doing that again. And he was also brilliantly voiced by Sam Witwer in the Clone Wars. And, you know, if they wanted to get him to be in Darth Maul makeup and play that, you know, I think that would definitely put butts in seats. Or not just a Darth Maul movie, but put Darth Maul in the Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off so that they could possibly butt heads with each other again, so that it would be a revenge story. That I would love to see. Another one I would love to see is a prequel / sequel that would be set in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. And the story would be on Luke Skywalker building and finding a new Jedi temple. Because that was brought up in The Force Awakens. And we do know that Kylo Ren was a part of that. So I thought to myself, why don't they do something like that? Unless, you know, if they go overboard with that. I hope that, you know, they don't do something like that, because, you know, some mysteries are left as mysteries for a good reason, you know. Is like, oh, that's really cool. It's like, you know, I don't want to know the backstory to that too much, but I think it would be an interesting aspect. Also, I love the photo that they have with in between young Mark Hamill and Sebastian Stan. If you put it side by side, they almost look exactly the same. So why not get Sebastian Stan to play young Luke Skywalker if, you know, they don't want to CG Mark Hamill's face on there? You know, that would definitely be something worth looking forward to. A few honorable mentions I wanted to bring up, maybe, you know, a Mace Windu movie or a Count Dooku movie, I think could possibly work, or maybe some other Jedis, including, or Jedi, like Quinlan Vaz or Kit Fisto, you know, a movie based on those guys, you know, maybe would be interesting. But the one movie that, with all these possibilities, what do I personally want to see as a Star Wars film? As a Star Wars anthology film, I would love to see a Palpatine movie. Think about this. Palpatine is one of the most interesting characters in the Star Wars universe. And he has gone through a lot, you know. He brings up an interesting story, which is probably, I will say, one of the best moments in episode 3, where Chancellor Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker are sitting at this bubble opera, and they're just talking and chatting about the light side and the dark side. And then later on, Palpatine talks about the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And he's pretty much talking about how powerful he was, and when he was killed by his apprentice, which was Palpatine. And, you know, thinking about that, I thought to myself, what if, you know, that is a story I want to know. Like, how did Palpatine become so corrupt and so evil like that? Like, going from someone who's normal, going to learning about the ways of the Force and the Sith, and then killing his own master, who was considered one of, if not the most powerful Sith Lord, getting his way as a chancellor, getting into politics, and then taking it over and ruling an empire over that, including killing the Jedi and corrupting Anakin Skywalker to become Darth Vader. That would be an amazing story right there. And I don't know who they would get to play a young Ian McDiarmid, but I do believe that, you know, a story like that would not be too far-fetched. But yeah, those are some of the possibilities, I would want to see happen as a Star Wars anthology film. But what about you guys? What kind of Star Wars anthology film would you like to see? Just let me know in the comments down below, or if you see me in public, just tell me what kind you would like to see. That is all for today. Until then, this is Dan the Movie Man, signing off, and may the Force be with you.